Right, it's a road test video for a Honda CR-V. This is a 2.2 CTDI diesel EX version, so it's top of the range. This particular car is registered PX57FWW, and mileage at the start of this brief road test is, so I'm going to scroll around to make sure I get that right for you, 77,136 miles. Reason we do the road test basically is because we are selling to customers from all over the near continent and the extremes of the UK, and we feel it's right now as a company that if anyone's come to see our cars, you can see them in operation prior to coming on the very same roads that you'll be road testing the cars on yourself in the area close to where we are. What I try and do on the road test is basically mimic what you'll do yourself, and I'll go through them one by one and just try and give you a bit of feedback on my experience of driving the car. So as I always do, obviously starting with the mechanical side, so engine first. Very well known engine, very good engines indeed. This particular engine starts, first turn of the key, settles to a lovely, even, very subdued idle, no sort of strange noises or vibrations. Engine pulls very sweetly and very cleanly through its rev range. It's got plenty of oomph to it. It's really, it's a sweet unit. They pull very well indeed. And this example again it is very smooth. There's no sort of strange noises coming back from it. Looking at the car itself and the dashboard, there's no warning lights on the car relating to the engine or the anything else for that matter. Engine obviously then drives through clutch and flywheel. The clutch seems fine. I've driven it. It's engaging really nicely. There's no change in engine note when the clutch is in or out. There's no vibrations that shouldn't be there when it's engaged or disengaged. The clutch pedal actuation is very smooth, very quiet. There's no squeaks or clicks from the mechanism of the clutch itself. So that's all in very fine order. The clutch obviously then goes through this 6-speed gearbox. Really cracking gearbox on the Hondas. They do such a good quality of gear change, and this one's no different to any of them. It's been how they get such a lovely mechanical feel is beyond me, when obviously it's almost certainly feeding cables through to the gearbox. It's just such a nice mechanical short shift, very easy to find every gear. You rarely ever sort of grab for gear and don't find it. The springing on the gating is really good, and this is an example of one has just got, I can't feel any wear in the linkage at all. It just feels tight. The synchro mesh is all absolutely perfect. We've never touched a manual gearbox on any of these, regardless of any mileage. They've always been incredibly strong, and I don't wish to tempt fate, but I don't think I'm going to. But as a gear change, it's really fantastic. To give you an idea, so like 5th gear there, when you go to 4th, you just literally just pull it back, and the springing naturally takes it down to the next gear. It's really well done. As I'm driving at speed now, steering tracks bullet straight. There's no vibrations at all coming back through the steering wheel that I've detected thus far. Steering itself feels very tight indeed. I can't feel any discernible wear in the steering of the vehicle at all. They're beautifully engineered, the steering on these cars. It's got a really good old school power steering system, nicely weighted, very accurate for what is a tall kind of SUV or whatever they like to call these things. But even on a car with this kind of mileage, sometimes you can feel a bit of wear coming back through them, but I can't feel anything. There's no kind of movements that shouldn't be there. Likewise, the suspension of the car, again, going about its business very smoothly indeed. You hear it going over the bumps in a normal way, but there's no kind of aftershocks or shudders or clonks or bangs or clanking going on underneath. And again, the thing I'll be looking out for, much the same as you, will be that kind of tapping noises you get, which can be like anti-roll bar links or struts, which have got a bit of wear in them, but there's nothing. It rides absolutely beautifully. Brakes on the car, I'm just going to give them a quick dab a second. Right at the top of the pedal, nice even braking. The nose is going down dead straight, not to one side or left. brake pedal's got no pulsing on it. There's no grumbling coming back through the brake pedal itself either, which suggests that all is in good order underneath. Obviously we'll be checking that before the car's sold anyway, but that all seems in very, very nice order indeed. Again, as I drive at speed, I tend to listen out for things like kind of wind noises that, you know, shouldn't really be there, and, you know, where you might have a kind of like a windscreen perished, or, you know, a seal gone or something like that. I can't actually see. Okay, he's going that way. But as I said, it's all very, very quiet indeed. There's nothing there that suggests there's, you know, everything's in fine fettle in terms of that. They are very refined cars on the move. Again, for sort of what is a relatively tall and upright car. As I was sat in here now, when I'm looking across the dashboard, it's a really lovely place to sit in the CR-V. You've got a nice view of the road. Obviously, that's given to you by, you know, dint of its stature, you know, in terms of its height off the road itself. But, you know, it does have a really nice. I'm just going to swing around here. Actually, this is that kind of the halfway point. The view you get is really nice out of these. You've got good visibility, and it just gives you a really nice view of the road to be able to kind of point the car coming down these little lanes. But it's, you know, but the whole dash itself kind of comes together really well. It's beautifully made. EX specifications, so obviously you've got, you know, big spec on these cars. Got this lovely big dominating sat-nav system on there. Obviously, as soon as you select that, that pops into a reverse parking camera. That works absolutely perfectly. You can access the CD behind it for, you know, playing your music just by pressing the button there, and then obviously closing it again. Just down below that, we've got the ventilation system for the car. Obviously, that's a dual zone system, so it's, you can do it side to side, which I've never kind of fathomed out really. I'm not sure whether there's a force field in the car that stops it halfway, but there we go. I'm sure it must. But that works perfectly. I've got no, it's absolutely ice cold air coming out of the air conditioning. All the switches in really, really lovely order. I mean, there's no wear on them at all. It's work with typical Japanese efficiency. Got a lovely sort of click action to them. But you know, they're all works absolutely fine. The only criticism of the car, again, I will be critical of these cars if I spot anything. It's obviously only just come to us, so it's waiting prep. Gear lever on this side. Some people, when they change gear, they hold their hands with their finger down there, and that puts a lot of wear on these gear gaiters. So if you've got rings or anything, it rubs it off very quickly. And this one, sure enough, has got it. So we'll get that gaiter changed. It costs tuppence and takes minutes, but it will be done before the car's sold. Coming across the main binnacle of the car, again, lovely, clear, legible dashboard, typical Honda fare. Big, equal-sized rev counter and speedo. All the gauges working perfectly. All the information is perfectly good. There's no pixelation issues, not that we've ever had on this type of car. Temperature's running at around about a third, which is absolutely exactly where it should be on any Honda, diesel, petrol, or otherwise. But you know, it's all really nicely presented to you. Again, auto lights, auto wipers on the car. Multifunction steering wheel here, all in very good order. The leather works really nice. Also, you've got audio top left, cruise control, which I'll just check. Cruise, set, and that's working absolutely perfectly. So I've got my foot off the throttle now, and it's just maintaining its forward speed, which I can speed up by doing that, or I can slow myself down by doing that, and then I can turn it off. So that's all, it works absolutely perfectly. And then you've got obviously your hands-free functions down here. But in essence, the car drives really, really nicely. If there's anything to report back to you, I would, and I always do, sort of good, bad, or otherwise. But I can't feel anything in the car that suggests anything other than the car's in really, really nice order. Prior to it being sold, it's going to go off to another garage, an independent garage, for a brand new MOT. So obviously that, you know, any work that needs attending to will be attended to at that point there. Not that it feels like it's going to need a great deal, but it's worth noting that is going to be the case. So all in all, I can't really fault the driver of the car. They're really, really, really good vehicles. I've kind of lost count of how many of these I've had. Wife's got one currently, I've got one. and they've always given us really good service. Diesel engine is fantastic. Obviously, the economy you're going to get is going to vary with where you use it and how you drive it. You know, some people drive them like petrols and hang on to the gear for a long time and wonder why they're only getting 35 to the gallon. You know, driven using the torque of the engine, changing up nice and early, and you know, around about 1500, 2000 RPM, just a fraction above, and you'll find yourself, you know, achieving more than the manufacturer's claim. You know, I tend to average with stop-start traffic around about 41, 42 to the gallon. But if I'm going on longer trips, that can nudge 50. So, as I said, that will vary. But that's, you know, it's the capability of the MPG is really there, unlike some other manufacturers. But anyway, I hope the video's been a help. If there's anything on the video I've missed out, I do apologise. You know, don't hesitate. Do give us a call, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have about the vehicle.